Amigos, Brad the Big Noise Evans here, and it's time to bring the noise here. Another AMA ahead of the main slate NFL week number 12. Happy early Thanksgiving to you and yours. Hopefully, if you had any travel plans this weekend, you've gotten to your destination safely and you're about to embark on a whole bunch of gluttony, and I'm going to do exactly that. Got a knife and fork in hand, and we're about to dig in on this Week 12 slate. You can see various ways you can contact me here on the show. You can submit your questions via Facebook at Yahoo Noise, on Twitch at Big Noise 78, on the YouTube channel, and the Feed the Noise YouTube channel, and on X, where I'm always trying to give it to you there at a Noisy Huevos, again there on X. So keep those questions in. Keep them coming. Hopefully going to try to get you that dub in fantasy. Hopefully going to try to get you some dubs as well in the sports betting market. Friendly reminder, folks, go to my free website, you jackals. It's called thegamingjuice.com. All of my content lives there. I'm cranking out all kinds of rankings every single week. I'll have the week 13 initial ones up immediately following the day of them. Probably post actually sometime this afternoon. I'm going to do a condensed version because of the holiday this week. The fantasy football flame. So it'll just be one piece. I'll have a quarterback, a running back, a wide receiver, and a tight end discussed in that stripped down format. I'm going to have another edition of top props. I may roll out some Turkey Day props as well for you bettors on a Thursday. We got a 3-pack of games on Thanksgiving. And of course, as well, my always free transparent spreadsheet lives where? At thegamingjuice.com. You can even ask me a question throughout the entire week. So click, converse, and cash, ... maybe. Also, go to my friends at betalytics.com. They have awesome projections for the player props market, for standard sides and totals, and it's more than just the NFL. It's more than just college football. They now have college basketball, the NHL, the NBA. They cover it all at Betalytics. So if you want another resource in your daily research, and I use it every single day, when slicing and dicing up a lot of lines, use promo code JUICE. That's promo code JUICE for 25% off your subscription today, only at Betalytics. All right, while your questions are coming in, and again, a friendly reminder, here's how you can get a hold of me here on this broadcast. You got to hit me up via Facebook at Yahoo Noise. Can hit me up as well there on Twitch and the Big Noise 78 handle. Also on X, where I'm always giving it to you there. Yeah, streaming live right now. Hit me up at Noisy Huevos. Fire off your questions. I will grab them. I will give you a shout out. And, of course, I'll give you an answer as well here for the next several minutes ahead of the main slate of the NFL Week 12 card. And on YouTube, too, you see there, you can contact me via the Fade the Noise channel. All right, while your questions are locking and loaded, now let's get to an abbreviated edition of the Fade 5. And let's start off with a guy I've written about continuously this week. Rather high on him, which means probably going to open up a Krispy Kreme shop. But give me Andre Yoshivas. Vroom, vroom. As I always say, I'm a huge fan of Yoshi, and Mario Kart was always my go-to character. And I am a big fan of the Pride of Princeton today. The over, I actually got the number at open at 32.5. Still at 35.5 right now, which I feel is too low. So I'll slam that over at 35.5 receiving yards against the New England Patriots. This game's got pew, 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 shootout appeal written all over it. I know Joe Burrow is not going to be at the controls, and I think that's a wise move. Give him a couple extra days. Give it a short week. Prepare him for the Baltimore Ravens showdown of the primetime lights on Thanksgiving night. But Yoshivas could be one of the main targets of one Joe Flacco. T. Higgins is going to see a lot of double coverage. And with no Jamar Chase, who's averaging 11.7 targets per game, that volume has got to be funneled elsewhere. And I think a lot of it could be funneled through the slot where Yoshi Voss is lining up 64.8% of the time, which means we get a lot of Marcus Jones in coverage, who's given up a 71.8% catch rate, 109.5 passer rate in his assignments. 13 guys have gone over this in the wide receiver position against New England this season, and Yoshi Voss has done it on a far more limited basis 3 times this year. So I think he's going to crack the 40-yard mark. I think he's a WR3 and a worthy one in 12-team and deeper fantasy leagues. So numero trace on the abbreviated edition of the Fade 5, Andre Yoshivas on the over 35.5 receiving yards against New England at a -115 at BetMGM. Numeros on the abbreviated edition of the Fade 5 countdown. Give me bear down, Chicago Bears. Yeah, Dick Buckus agrees. Right behind me there, the bobblehead, the Red Grange as well. Illinois sucked yesterday. Sent him to Detroit for whatever they're calling it. It used to be called the Little Caesars Bowl. That was embarrassing. Anyway, I digress. Hopefully the other orange and blue in the state will get it done. And I think they will behind the arm of Caleb Williams against Pittsburgh. I'll take him at 225 plus pass yards, which you get a little baby Sydney Smith juice on at a +100 there at ESPN Bet. I look at Pittsburgh, middle of the pack in terms of pass EPA defense this season, but they've allowed the most pass yards per game of the quarterback position this year at 285.19. 9 times 9. 9 guys have gone over this prop against them. The only person went under was Joe Flacco in game number 2 against the Steelers last weekend. And I'm not buying that's going to happen again. Caleb Williams on pace to become the first 4,000-yard passer in Chicago Bears history. He has gone over this prop in 4 of his last 5, and he is number 5 overall in total air yards. Roma Dunze, Colson Loveland's getting involved more in the action. Of course, got DJ Moore there. I think Caleb Williams is going to tee off and exercise some demons, Bears, against Aaron Rodgers, assuming that he is under center. He is pushing corner all reports to play there against my Chicago Bears in the Windy City. But for the purposes of this prop, again, I'm taking Caleb Williams, 225 plus pass yards against those Steelers at a +100 at ESPN Bet. And numero uno on this abbreviated edition of the Fade 5 countdown. I'm going to go with Mr. Taylor Swift, Travis Kelce. Now, earlier in the week, I grabbed a +125. I think you can still find like +100 juice at a couple of books right now. I booked it at ESPN Bet. I thought this was low-hanging fruit, and I couldn't believe what my eyes were allowing me to see at the +125 number against those Colts. And here's the reason why. Indianapolis outstanding outside the numbers in coverage. That's why they're number 6 in drop back EPA defense on the season. But that leaves the middle oftentimes wide open. And what's the specialty of Travis Kelce? Taking advantage of those wide open spaces. The Colts have given up a 72.6 yards per game just to the tight end position. It's the 3rd most tight end yards overall. They have surrendered to that position. And you look at Kelce, he's averaging north of this, 63.1 yards per game. He's getting a healthy 6.6 targets per game. He's number 3 in total yak among tight ends, number 6 in yards per route run, and has reached 60 or more yards in 5 of 6, his last 6 games. So give me Travis Kelce, TE1 through and through in fantasy, 60-plus receiving yards against Indianapolis. Kind of a big matchup there in Cowtown at a +125 at ESPN Bet. All right, friendly reminder, folks, here is where you can get a hold of me on this broadcast. Give me a thumbs up. Give me a middle finger emoji. Give me a heart. Give me something. Interact with the content. I'm giving it to you free because I'm a man of the people. Just like the reason why the gaming juice is free, because I'm a man of the people. I'm all about content creation and giving back to the masses. I'm the most decorated writer in fantasy sports history. Somehow, some way, they put me in the Hall of Fame. Yeah, that exists. There's an actual plaque. Shout out to my buddy Andy Behrens. They put me in that sucker a few years ago. I've had a hell of a career, and I love giving back to all of my members of hashtag Team Huevos. So again, interact with me with the content. Submit your questions via the apparatuses here at the bottom. Go to thegamingjuice.com. Check out all of my content, the site there. It's absolutely free to sign up. I get pushback. People like, oh, you want me to pay? I'm like, bro, all it requires is you putting an email. I think you put in a fake email if you want to, and you're good to go. And then you can interact with the content, ask me questions, ask Brad. No, I'm not charging a dime, you jackwagon. It's got no complaints there. Go to Betalytics. I use it every single day as well in my research, whether the player props market, sides, totals. Rachel Krychek's got an awesome algorithm and program that she's always tinkering and toying with. So go there and use promo code JUICE. Again, that's promo code JUICE for 25% off. All right, let's go ahead and get after it here on, oh my gosh, I think I'm getting inundated by the same user. We're going to rifle through these all from George. Buenos dias, says George. X gonna give it to you, says George. Dog Bears against it. I think George likes to hear himself talk. Oh, an actual question from George. Flex option of the following. DK, Booty, Loveland, or Burden. Luther Burden's role is expected to grow. DK is out. I want nothing to do with anybody. A member of that Tennessee Titans offense against one of the better secondaries in the league there in the Seattle Seahawks today. Kayshon Boutte is interesting, but soft tissue issues can flare up in game. So he's a bit of a clack roll the dice risk. I actually like Colson Loveland the best out of this quattro. I think he's a guy who's got to get you around 40 to 50 yards. Strong shot at a touchdown as well. So that is the direction I'm going there. And, George just didn't quit. He continuously is bringing more and more. He's got bear down. He's got additional emojis there with the lime and the hot pepper. Awesome stuff. Thank you, George, for interacting. But you don't have to bombard the thread. I'll see your question, get to it. Hola, Egg. Yeah, that's me. I don't have any hair, and I look very white. Phil says, hola, amigo. Please hit one in a PPR. Caution, it's ugly. Yeah, okay. Parker Washington, Tez Johnson, Coleman, and Pearsall. I'm trying to think of what Coleman that would be. Are you talking like Colston, Loveland, maybe? I mean, if it's Keon Coleman, of course, he was inactive and didn't play on Thursday. I would sit down out of that group not knowing who Coleman is. I'd probably go Tez Johnson. I think it's going to be tough sledding vertically for the Buccaneers against the Rams. The Rams are top 5 in drop back EPA defense. I'll go with Barker Washington. Could have a decent role again with Brian Thomas out and Ricky Pearsall. This should be a bit of the coming out party there. There's Pat following up with a question. Morning. Top of the morning to you, good sir. PPR, can you digs it? Hell yeah, I can. Tucker, no. McMillan is interesting, but I'm going to go with Stephon Diggs, man. That is kind of like the mother of all matchup scenario. I wrote about Diggs, my NFL top props piece. You can read it for free right now on my website, thegamingjuice.com. Took him in the alt market, 60-plus receiving yards earlier the week. That was at plus money. It's no longer at that. I think he's got an excellent shot of finding the end zone as well. So maximize the matchup and go with Diggs. Oh, Danny asking the phrase that pays. Daddy want, Daddy need, Daddy gotta have it. Little sledgehammer special. As usual, Danny will be late to the party with a question. That's how he teased it up. Jerry says, half point PPR need 2. Cade Otton. Ooh, interesting. Andre Yoshivas. I love him. Washington Spears. I'm going to go with Yoshivas. I'm going to go with Cade Otton. If the Rams have an area of vulnerability defensively, again, very good, kind of like the Colts, outside the numbers in coverage and bottling up and containing wide receivers. But that leaves the middle of the field an advantageous position for pass-catching tight ends. Otton is a bit of a nickel and damer, as Billy Raff would like to say. So he's not going to get you 20 or 30-yard chunks. It's a lot of like 5, 7, 8, maybe the occasional 10-yard gain. This could be like a 5-6 catch night for him. So give me Auden and Yoshivasa, all the reasons I already mentioned. Christopher says, Booty or Watson? Watson all day. For me, it's not close. TB12 says, Hola, Brad. Andrews or Auden? Again, I'm going to go with Kate Auden. I really like the floor for him tonight. Peter says, hello, Brad. Thanks for all the help. Smash the like button. Yeah, please do that. Would you start Drake or Dak? I'm going to go with Drake May all day long. You kidding me? You're facing the Cincinnati Bengals, one of the most woeful, pathetic secondaries in the NFL. They are dead last in drop back EPA defense. So, yes, all day in a walk and a romp. I'm going to go with Drake May. Danny says PPR flex. Alvin Kamara or mandatory Montgomery? It's always mandatory Montgomery, you jackals. I think he's got to find the end zone today. Remember, earlier the week, Dan Campbell was asked, would you like to get David Montgomery more carries? His quote, absolutely, end quote. I think coming off a 6-carry game, and this is the reason why I bet on the over 11.5 rush attempts. They're heavily favored, are the Lions. And you look at the Giants, they're dead last in rush EPA defense. This is a position of likely success from mandatory Montgomery. I think it's going to be around 50 to 60 ground yards. I think he's going to find the end zone as well. And I think he'll get at least 8 dozen carries and maybe a catch or two to boot. So appreciate the question there from Danny. And let's go with Orion. Hola, amigos. Happy Thanksgiving to you and yours. Same, likewise. PPR need 1 wide receiver, 2 running backs, and a flex between A.J. Brown. Brown's in. That squeaky wheel continues to be squeaky, and I think he's going to be force-fed again. I like the matchup. I mean, how could you not against Dallas? DK Metcalf, maybe. Pierce, no. Genty, maybe. Aaron Jones, maybe. Jaylen Warren, maybe. Okay. I'll go with Jaylen Warren for sure because you need 2 running backs. And I will go with Aaron Jones over Genty for the other one as well. And then let's see. The wide receiver, that's it. And a flex. I flex DK Metcalf. So I start A.J. Brown, DK Metcalf in the flex. And then I go Warren and Jones at running back. Good luck to you there, Ryan. Coda says, half point PPR, would you start any of my RB2 options? Kenneth Gainwell, Bayshall 2, Charbonnet all day. Yeah, I pop a cork on Charbonnet. My current starters, Warren, ETN, KW the third. Yeah, I mean, look, would you start any of those guys over the other guys? I would only debate going a 2 Seattle formation. Maybe benching ETN. Warren's in. I think KW third, Mr. Third, is also in, but I think Charbonnet's got an excellent shot of finding the end zone as well. I think you're getting a heavy 1-2 dose of both of those Seattle running backs. I think both of them have 60-yard and 1 touchdown appeal through and through. It's the Titans, man. They're number 26 in rush EPA defense this season. Roger says Brissett or Baker the touchdown maker. I'm still going to go with Baker Mayfield. I mean, that game has got a lot of pew, 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 shootout appeal. That's why I see the total right around 50 right now, the various sports books across the country. And I got a feeling Tampa's going to be competitive in the game. Even if they deal with a deficit, Baker's just going to keep on slinging it. Get Chris Godwin back. I know he's going to be on a pitch count. I mentioned Kate Otten, maybe being in an advantageous position. Got a Emeka Egbuka there. I kind of like Baker Mayfield a little bit more, but Brissett, man, he's been consistent, getting at least 19 fantasy points. I think he's done that now in 5 straight games. Aubrey says, hola to you. Half point PPR need a RB2 and a flex. Rico Arena. Rico Dowdle is in for me. Brees Hall, no. Chase Brown, yes. I'm going to go, and Ted's a close one. I'm going to go with getting down with my guy, Chase Brown. Chug. Stupid Illinois yesterday. Anyway, give me Rico and Chase Brown. I think both those guys actually do significant damage in the pass games today. Good luck to you. Pat says PPR, T. McMillan or Olave. You got a sledgehammer, one of these. Olave new, McMillan a close number 2, but I got to go with T. Higgins. The target share could be massive today against New England. The only son, Ola Brad, need a quarterback. Bryce, Flacco, Shook, or Winston. Oh, it's got to be Flacco, dude. Not even close there. Woodbine 3. Greetings, Brad. Greetings to you, good sir. Let's see. Flex PPR, I need a tight end or full PPR. and a flex, Jawan Johnson, K. Dotton. Again, K. Dotton is in, and I'll go Ricky Pearsall. Oh, that's simple. Over Slayton and Jawan Johnson. Good luck to you. Ryan says one more. Because of buys, they did quarterbacks to be between Bryce Young, Trevor Lawrence, Shook, or Winston. Ugh. I go Bryce Young. San Francisco's been a bit of a disappointment defensively this season. Now, is he going to go out there and have another 300 plus, like multiple touchdowns? No. Could he go for like 230 to 250 and a couple of touchdowns? Yes. And that will probably be enough to distance himself away from one Trevor Lawrence, who's number 2 on that list. Carmine says, Jordan Mason or Michael Carter. This is kind of a kill me now scenario. Oh, good Lord. I don't like either of these guys. I feel really craptastic about it. There's a PPR element. I guess Carter, although you probably have more touchdown upside with Mason. I think you have a safer floor there with Michael Carter. I mean, you're looking to get maybe 8 points in a PPR, either one of these guys. I think Carter can get you that. Mason is so touchdown dependent. So there you have it. It's kind of a cowardly answer, but I guess Carter. Jordan says football PPR need 2. Hall, Javonte, Judkins, Quinshawn is in. And I guess I'll go with Juggernaut Javonte. I did bet the under on 67.5 rush yards in the game against Philadelphia, but guy has scored a touchdown, I think, in all but 3 or 4 games this year. So he's been a king of consistency in that category. So he gets a nod. Adam says, ho, 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 already in the holiday spirit. Pick 2, please. PPR, Hunt, Emmanuel Wilson, Sean Tucker. Well, Wilson is entirely contingent on Josh Jacobs, and we're still waiting word. He's got to, test out the knee and warm-ups. It didn't sound great yesterday. So if, he is, if we get a report that he's limited, or of course, if he is out, obviously, Emmanuel Wilson is must-start material out of this group. And I would go with Sean Tucker. Look, I know the Rams have been stiff and stout in the trenches, but the coaching staff, the OC Grizzard has already come out and said, yeah, we're going to get him more involved. They have to after the monster game that they had last week. Granted, it was a much softer opponent than the Buffalo Bills, who haven't really stopped anybody in the trenches. But I like the upside of Tucker. He's catching balls out of the backfield. And you'll have to wait and see if Jacobs is active. I'd pivot, and go to Hunt. Of course, if he's inactive, I go with Wilson. There you go, Adam. J Red, Daddy want, Daddy need, Daddy gotta have it. The Bears will win this week, but their luck runs out against the Eagles. Well, we'll see. A Black Friday game. I'm not counting the Bears out in anything right now. Defensively, they really got it tied up. I could see the Bears losing today and then turn around and winning in Philadelphia. The problem with the Bears, they got like no healthy linebackers. So Aaron Rodgers, if he does go, it could be a heavy tight end kind of game. And they got about a gazillion of them on roster. Thomas says PBR, Watson or Myers. I'm going to go with Watson. J-Red, I look bad, but not as bad as Syracuse. You gave up 70 points. So the Orange and Blues definitely taking the nuts over the weekend. I've never seen a game like that before. Have you, Brad? On occasion, you get some of these blowouts. It usually doesn't involve a team like Syracuse in a power conference matchup. Usually it's like Bethune-Cookman against Alabama. So you get that every single year with some of those, non-conference. You even look at the margin of victory for Bama against Eastern Illinois. Tony Romo and Jimmy Garoppolo. Sean Payton went there. Oh, yeah. Mike Shanahan, I think, was a coach there at one point. The history at EIU is kind of ridiculous with some of these football masterminds. But anyway, they only lost 56-0. So, yeah, that's you, Syracuse. GF need 2. Half-point PBR, McMillan, Olave, Egbuka. Oh, embarrassment of riches. I'll go with Mecca, 1. And I go McMillan for 2. It's really close to Olave, though, at 3. Happy Turkey Day. Good, so happy Turkey Day to you coming up here in short order. Feast Week, it's here. So much hoops. Going to be outstanding. Maui gets underway, I believe, tomorrow. Sun up to sundown action. The best betting week of the year is Feast Week. One of my favorite weeks of sports watching. I will probably gain 15 pounds from not moving a muscle and just engorging. Ooh, maybe that's not the right word. Taking a ton of food and filling up my gut in the process. Let's see. May your day be filled with unlimited sides. Yeah, look, I'm twice baked potato fan, and they're ready. They're chilling in the fridge already. Full boy PBR, Pittman or Wandale? I'll go with Wandale. Or no, excuse me, Pittman. Oh, maybe that was a Freudian slip, but no, I like Michael Pittman a little bit more. Jonathan says, "Hola." Need one Higgins, Metcalf, or Addison. I go with T. Higgins. Again, the target share you simply cannot ignore. Nice little chemistry that he has built with Joe Flacco. I know it's New England, but they are number 13. They're not like invincible and drop back EPAD. Let's see. K Space 91, pick one. Dobbs, Booty, Godwin, full point PPR. Man, Godwin, no, he's going to be on a pitch count. Booty, I worry about that hamstring could always flare up at a moment's notice, despite a premium matchup. Give me Romeo. We're for Alpha Romeo. Give me Dobbs. A little bit safer play there. Good luck to you. Sean says, hola, amiga, half point PPR. Need one wide receiver and a flex out of these. Tucker, Watson, DK Metcalf. I will go with DK Metcalf. Ooh, this is really close between Watson and Tucker. I'll go with Tucker. I'm going to ride the hot hand and expect him to get a vigorous workload. They're going to have to utilize him not only as a runner, but also as a receiver. I think a little bit more upside there. Good luck to you, Sean. Evans says in a dynasty PPR, where I normally have Chase, London, Ladd, pick three new starters, DJ Moore, Judy. No, not Judy. I want nothing to do with that passing attack with Shedeur Sanders. Oh, yeah, but I hear all the hot take artists out there. Oh, he is going to have a defining game. It's going to propel him on a remarkable path, a Hall of Fame path. All of the hot take artists that exist in sports talk media. This is a dream scenario with Shedeur Sanders under center because they can just build up the hype. I got to believe it to see it. I like data. I like information. And I have a lot of questions about Shedeur Sanders. Holds on the ball too long and is airmailing people left and right, rinse and repeat. I think he's going to be good for an INT. I don't think he's any good right now, and he may never be any good in the NFL. Maybe for Saskatchewan, Calgary. Yeah, one of those teams north of the border. CFL. Maybe that's where Shedeur could really make a name for himself because I don't think it's going to happen in the NFL, but we shall see. I could be very wrong. So Judy said, I'll have DJ Moore as one, Yoshi Voss as another, and Zay Flowers as a third. Good luck to you there. Evan Mark says, standard league, flex, Hunt or Jones Sr. I'm going to go with Ron, Aaron Jones, Cleveland and Raiders or Detroit against the Giants. Honestly, I think you can't really lose either one of these. I'll take the Browns. Gino is practically the G word, the L word for an INT. I'm a fungi. Might want to get that checked out. But fungi, I get it. I know what you're doing. Christian Watson, Chris Godwin, no. Or Junkins, go with the guaranteed touches. I go with Quinshawn Junkins. Vegas E, nervous on Junkins. It's guaranteed work, man. They're going to hand the ball off to him early and often. If they somehow, some way, and get in a goal-to-go situation, he'll at least get a crack at it. So I'll chase that upside. Good morning to you, brother. From Jeremy. Good morning to you, Jeremy. Am I getting too cute starting Brissett against the Jags over Dak against the stiff Philly? No, you're not. Here's what's crazy about Brissett. The floor is like up here. 5 straight games, at least 19 fantasy points. Coming off a record-setting 47 completions. And it really doesn't matter who he's going against. I mean, Jacksonville, middle of the pack, and drop back EPAD. I know we don't have Marvin Harrison Jr. in this game, but he's still getting it done. And they can pad the bottom line with a few rushing yards as well. So I kind of like Jacoby over Dak. Not too cute at all. Mark says, half point PPR, need a deep flex. Pierce, Godwin, or Judy. Godwin, Judy, out of here. No, thank you. Give me Alec Pierce. Let's see. J Kid says Saquon 100 plus rushing, Devontae 50 plus receiving, and Juggernaut anytime TD plus 993. I'm on it. Good luck. I don't think the Juggernaut Javante end of it will come through. That's the only thing I worried about. And 100 plus rushing for Saquon. He's done that once this year. I don't have a whole lot of faith in that wager either. But good luck. I could be wrong. Clint says, hola, amigo. Got Kyron and Rico starting a full point PPR. Oh, it must be nice having those kind of options. Would you sub Charbonnet or Tucker today for either? All right, so Kyron and Rico Arera Suave. I kind of like Charbonnet today. I really do. Yeah, I think he's going to find the end zone. Yes, I bet on a plus 110. I would only debate Charbonnet over Kyron, but it's a bit of a dice roll. Clint says, in the last 10 games, Saints, Falcons, and New Orleans, Saints have won 7. Saints going to win by 3 today. Sure, I like New Orleans. I want nothing to do with that game. Fire in the damn sun. I know it's a rivalry in that part of the country. That's the only thing going for it. That game's awful. Kirk Cousins? Really? Washed up? Kirk Cousins? Give me something else. J Red says May or Mayfield. Give me Drake May. Kate says Caleb or Danny Dimes. I'm going to go Caleb Williams, please. Good luck to you, Kate. Jeremy says this one's gross. Kyle Williams, Tez Johnson, Matt Collins, Manungai, or Bam. There I go, Tez Johnson. Slight upside. It is kind of gross, but hey, we got 4 teams on bye. Got to do what you got to do. One more from Sean. Loveland or Otten? I got Otten ever so slightly higher, but I think both are going to be top 10 tight ends. Jonathan says, need a quarterback, Dak or Baker? I'll take Baker. The Don says Olave or Sean Tucker. I'll go Olave there in a PPR especially. Roger says, Ola, full boy PPR, 1 flex. Michael Wilson, Judkins, Pittman, Tootin or Knight. It's between the first 2. And if you're at a full point PPR, that I might actually go with Michael Wilson. Slight advantage over Judkins. Maybe he'll catch 1 or 2 balls. Sean, I think you already stated that league was a half-point PPR. Dustin says, good morning, Brad. Good morning to you, Dustin. Here's my dilemma. I draw my kicker to get Michael Wilson to block my opponent since he has Marvin Harrison. Now I need a kicker. Options to drop are Michael Wilson, Romeo Dobbs, Tez Johnson, Baker Mayfield. You just drop Tez Johnson or Baker Mayfield in a single quarterback league. But yeah, strategies you got to do this time of year to ensure hopefully some success. Good luck to you, Jeremy. With I think his 6th question of the day, Pittman or Tet? I go Tet McMillan. Clint says another one. He said Uno Mas 3 questions ago. Leggett, Burden, or Tucker? Are we talking Trey Tucker or Sean Tucker? If we're talking Sean Tucker, he's the play far and away. If we're talking Trey Tucker, I go Burden. Steve says full point PPR at a flex, Swift or Wilson. I go Swift there, the guaranteed workload. The Clot Soul says, I got one for you, amigo. Michael Wilson or when in Rome, Adunze. I'm going to go with Adunze. Look, I think he's a really solid candidate, get at least 60 yards and possibly a touchdown. I think Caleb Williams has himself a day. Given the matchup, and New England, they're going to put some points on the board. So game's got a lot of high scored appeal. Had to make the same choice going with Jacoby. Giving a shout out. A way to help other people there. Really appreciate that. One more from TB12. Judkins or Monty? I'm going to go Monty. Again, I think really good shot of him behind the end zone today. Josh says Michael Wilson or Dortch. It ain't Dortch. I'll go with Wilson. Juice. Let's see. Danny says promo code Juice. Again, yeah, that's promo code Juice for 25% off at Betalytics today. They got a fancy new app. You can't sign up with that promo code. You got to go the actual desktop version, the website version, and put that promo code in. Again, get 25% off. If you're into that sort of thing, I highly recommend it. Doug says, morning, top of the morning to you. Half point PPR at 1 or sit 1. Jennings, Kamara, Pierce, Sean Tucker. I'm going to sit Alvin Kamara, man. What's he done this season? A whole lot of nothing. Just vanilla May, just a pile of just boring is what he is. So I'm going to sit him down. Addison says, hola, amigo. I see you're playing the tight end versus the Colts. Pro move. Have a great day. Yeah, it really is. I like it quite a bit. Travis Kelce. Can't go wrong with him. Still got plenty left. Oh, another question with Jeremy. I just catch the over at like plus 1,000 on 5.5 questions asked. Pearsall or Downs? I go Ricky P. The only Sutton says Michael Wilson or Yoshivas. Ooh, super tight. I'll go with Michael Wilson. But man, that is super, super close. Again, friends, the jackass you're listening to right now, and I appreciate you guys doing that. I'm Brad Evans. I have a website. It's called thegamingjuice.com. You can hear me nightly on BetMGM tonight, iHeart stations, Odyssey stations across the United States of America. The highly punchable face that you see also streams a video version on my website at thegamingjuice.com. So many of you may remember me from my SiriusXM show. Yes, I'm still getting it done on air every single night, talking fantasy, talking betting, talking just common sports, a lot of college basketball as well, a lot of the NFL. We're covering college. We cover it all, except maybe dropping the buck and making some bucks, because I don't know Jack nor squad about the NHL. And quite frankly, the NBA, a bit boring to me. But we dabble a little bit everything on BetMGM tonight, 7:11 p.m. Eastern time, Monday through Friday. Again, streams on my website, thegamingjuice.com, and it can just turn on air. Your local station may be carrying the show, so check it out. BetMGM tonight. And as well, there's the questions, or the ways you can submit your questions, I should say. Facebook, Yahoo Noise, Twitch, Big Noise 78, YouTube at the Faith the Noise channel, and on X, where I'm always giving it to you there at Noisy Huevos. So I'm going to be reteaming with my buddy Danny Kluppinger. Coming up about an hour and a half on the Bleacher Report app, also streams on YouTube. We'll be doing another Bring the Noise AMA for that platform, breaking down some of our favorite bets game by game on every single matchup remaining on the Week 12 slate. So make sure to tune to that. Go to my website. Please check it out. It's free. I'm not charging a dime. You have no excuse to complain. Brad, you suck. Yes, I do. Often. I've been white hot at college basketball until yesterday, and I got my teeth kicked in. I was overdue for regression, and it happened. But that's gambling. You ride the highs and you endure and absorb the lows, and that's how the roller coaster goes. We can always check out my always free, transparent, and public spreadsheet at thegamingjuice.com, and a lot of my work there. Just support me. Sign up for a free account. Again, I don't charge you a dime. And interact with the content. You can fire off questions during the week, and I will get to them at my leisure, at my convenience. And go to Betalytics, my fine friends there from Canada. They're awesome algorithm, and they're cranking out really slick designed websites. So use that promo code JUICE. Again, promo code JUICE for 25% off today. All right, we got a few more questions coming in. I'll get to a couple of more before I got to get out and try to hammer some lawn mowing. I got a lot of leaves to chew up before I got to jump on air and then sit on my ass the rest of the day and watch endless football and a little bit of college basketball probably mix in there as well. We did get a couple more questions that came in. Josh says, Sean Tucker, Rashad White. Thanks, amigo. Tequila on. Yeah, tequila on indeed. Give me Sean Tucker. Look, his role is growing. They're finally understanding that he is a better break tackle back compared to the finesse version of Rashad White. I think it's going to be a full-blown 60-40 split in favor of Tucker tonight. That is the only way in my mind for this Buccaneers team to stay competitive. They got to show offensive balance. They got to be able to move the ball in the chains on occasion on the ground. And Tucker's role as a pass catcher also growing. Let's see. Coda says, safest to drop for a kicker, Sharps, Gainwell, or 2.5 point PPR. It's probably Gainwell, especially with Jalen Warren. Now healthy, Tootin is starting to take on more and more of the opportunity share, and Charbonnet is here to stay as probably 45% opportunity share, and it could be higher today. The Walker the third is going to be to go with that butt muscle pull that he had late in the week. Uno Mas from Doug, Nixon, Dart out, play it safe with T-Law or roll the dice with Jameis. Now, I would go with Trevor Lawrence. I'm not going to roll the dice with famous Jameis. The good news about Jameis, they're not throwing any INTs, which is kind of amazing. So I go with Trevor Lawrence, although expect, a typical part like 16, 17 points at most. All right, it appears I've exhausted all of your questions. I appreciate all of you hopping in and joining me. I will be back on next Sunday again, content on the gamingjuice.com this week is going to be a little bit more condensed, given the short week and all the responsibilities that I have. And again, I just do that side honestly for fun. So, if I get to the content, I get to the content. I'm going to try to, my rankings are going to be there. I'm going to have those live on the side, probably later today, at least in 1.0 version. I'll be tinkering with them throughout the entire week. I'll probably drop some Turkey Day top props if you're interested in such endeavors. We'll do the Fade 5 podcast. I'm going to be doing a shorter version of that for Monday Night Football tomorrow. And I may do another shorter version, like top 3, maybe not top 5 plays ahead of Turkey Day. So stay tuned for that content. Again, I'm going to try to get as much as I can with all the family responsibilities and other work responsibilities I have, like BetMGM tonight. So appreciate y'all interacting with the content. Until next time, get that dub in fantasy. Adios, amigo.